Hello everyone, welcome to Literary Explorer channel. In this volume, I have brought 30 MCQs from English literature which will be helpful for your forthcoming English PGT TGT examination. So let's get started. Question number 1. What is meant by catharsis? And the options are option A, tragic flow in the antagonist, option B, tragic flow in the protagonist, option C, false step taken, seen dark, option D, purgation of emotions of pity and fear. And the correct option is purgation of emotions of pity and fear. Catharsis. What is catharsis? It is the use of story, feelings in literature to engage the reader in a type of emotional purification. Our next question is, which play by William Shakespeare features the character Ophelia? And the options are Macbeth, Hamlet, Romeo Juliet, option D, Julius Caesar. And the correct option is Hamlet. Ophelia demonstrates the nature of purity, innocence and virtue of women. She is childlike nature. She is having childlike nature and she is unaware of the harsh realities of life. Although she truly loves Hamlet, she is very loyal and obedient to her brother and father. Moving to our next question, question number 3. The poem The Waste Land was written by, and the options are option A, William Wordsworth, option B, John Keats, option C, T.S. Eliot, option D, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And the correct answer is T.S. Eliot. The Waste Land, it is written by T.S. Eliot, widely regarded as one of the most important poems in the 20th century. And it was published in 1922. The poem has 5 sections. First one is the burial of the dead. Second, the game of chess. Third, the fire sermon. Fourth, death of water. Fifth one, what the thunder said. Our next question is, who is the author of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird? And the options are Harper Lee, option B, F. Scott Fitzgerald, option C, J.D. Salinger, option D, Mark Twain. And the correct answer is Harper Lee. To Kill a Mockingbird is a novel by the American writer Harper Lee. It was published in 1960 and it was instantly successful in the United States. It is widely read in high school and middle school. Our next question is, which novel features the character J. Gatsby? And the options are option A, The Catcher in the Rye, option B, The Great Gatsby, option C, Moby Dick, option D, The Adventures of the Tom Sawyer. And the correct option is The Great Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is a novel written by American writer Fitzgerald in the year 1925. Our next question is, who wrote the play Romeo and Juliet? Options: William Shakespeare, B. Arthur Miller, option C, Oscar Wilde, option D, George Bernard Shaw. And you all know that this is William Shakespeare. Question number 7. The poem Daffodils was written by, options are William Wordsworth, option B, John Keats, option C, Lord Byron, option D, P.B. Shelley. And the correct option is William Wordsworth. This famous poem was written in 1804 by William Wordsworth and remembering a walk with his sister Dorothy 2 years earlier, and it was first published in 1807. Moving to the next question, question number 8. Which novel features the character Holden Caulfield? And the options are Brave New World, The Catcher in Rye, Animal Farm. And the correct option is option C, The Catcher in the Rye. It is written an American novel writer J.D. Salinger, and it was partially published in serial from 1945 to 1946 before being novelized in 1951. Who is the author of the play Hamlet? Option A, William Shakespeare, option B, Tennessee Williams, option C, Arthur Miller, option D, Samuel Beckett. And the correct option is William Shakespeare. Our next question is, the novel Jane Eyre was written by Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte, Anne Bronte, Virginia Woolf. And the correct option is Charlotte Bronte. Jane Eyre is a novelist written by Charlotte Bronte. The novel follows the story of Jane, a seemingly plain and simple girl. As she battles through life struggles, Jane has many obstacles in her life. Her cruel and abusive aunt, Reed, the grim conditions at Lowood School, her love for Rochester and Rochester's marriage to Bertha. All these are described in this story, in this novel. Moving to the next question, question number 11. Who is the author of the play Death of Salesman? And the options are option A, Arthur Miller, option B, Tennessee Williams, option C, Samuel Beckett, option D, Eugene O'Neill. And the correct answer is Arthur Miller. So, Death of Salesman in a play is a play written by Arthur Miller, and it was written in 1948 and produced in 1949. Moving to the next question, question number 12. The poem Ode to Nightingale was written by, and the options are option A, William Wordsworth, option B, John Keats, option C, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, option D, P.B. Shelley. And the correct answer is John Keats. Ode to Nightingale is one of the 5 great odes John Keats composed in the summer and the autumn of 1819. The poem focuses on a speaker standing in a dark forest listening to the beguiling and the beautiful song of the nightingale bird. So this provokes a deep and meandering meditation by the speaker on time, death, beauty, nature, and human sufferings. Moving to the next question, question number 13. Which novel feature the character Scout Finch? And the options are option A, To Kill a Mockingbird, option B, The Great Gatsby, option C, The Lord of the Rings, option D, Pride and Prejudice. And the correct answer is To Kill a Mockingbird. So here Harper Lee began his writing to kill a mockingbird in the mid 1950s. It was published in 1960, just before the peak of the American Civil Rights Movement. Our next question is, who wrote the play The Importance of Being Earnest? And the options are option A, William Shakespeare, option B, Oscar Wilde, option C, George Bernard Shaw, option D, Arthur Miller. And the correct answer is Oscar Wilde. The Importance of Being Earnest is a play by Oscar Wilde that was first performed in 1895. It is a farcical comedy. The work of it describes about the mocks the culture and manners of the Victorian society. Next question is, who is the author of the play The Two Gentlemen of Verona? And the options are option A, William Shakespeare, option B, Arthur Miller, option C, Tennessee Williams, option D, Samuel Beckett. And the correct answer is William Shakespeare. The Two Gentlemen of Verona, it is a play deals with the theme of friendship and infidelity, the conflict between friendship and love, and the foolish behavior of the people in love. Our next question is, the poem The Raven was written by option A, Robert Frost, option B, Edgar Allan Poe, option C, Langston Hughes, option D, Emily Dickinson. And the correct answer is Edgar Allan Poe. The Raven, it is a narrative poem by American writer Edgar Allan Poe. It was first published in January 1845. The poem is often noted for its musicality, stylized language, and supernatural atmosphere. And it tells of a distraught lover who is paid a mysterious visit by a talking raven. The lover, often identified as a student, is lamenting the loss of his love. Our next question is, which novel featured the character Elizabeth Bennet? Option A, Jane Eyre, option B, Pride and Prejudice, Option C, Moby Dick. Option D, Great Expectation. And the correct answer is Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet. It is a character which has been taken from Pride and Prejudice, written by Jane Austen. So here, Elizabeth's character is like she is bold, she is intelligent, she is independent, and with a witty sense of humor. She considers herself to be a proper young lady and good judge of character. However, throughout the novel, Lizzie realizes that she is not perfect. She does misjudge people at times, and her pride aches on these mistakes. Our next question is question number 18. Who is the author of the play The Crucible? Option A, Arthur Miller. Option B, Tennessee Williams. Option C, Samuel Beckett. Option D, Eugene O'Neill. And the correct answer is Arthur Miller. The Crucible, it is a 4-act play written by Arthur Miller. It is performed and published in 1953. Our next question is, the poem Sonnet 18 begins with the line, option A, shall I compare thee to a summer day? Option B, I wandered lonely as a cloud. Option C, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. Option D, because I could not stop for death. And the correct answer is, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Moving to the next question. Question number 20. Which novel features the character Ebenezer Scrooge? Option A, Oliver Twist. Option B, A Tale of Two Cities. Option C, Great Expectations. Option D, A Christmas Carol. And the correct answer is Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol, it was written by Charles Dickens in 1843 and published in 1845 as a holiday story that quickly became a sensation among the Victorian readers. Moving to the next question, question number 21. Who is the author of the play A Streetcar Named Desire? And the options are option A, Tennessee Williams, option B, Arthur Miller, option C, Samuel Beckett, option D, Eugene O'Neill. And the correct answer is Tennessee Williams. This play, A Street Named Desire, it is a 3-act play. It was first produced and published in 1947, and the drama won Pulitzer Prize for the drama for the year. Moving to the next question, question number 22. The poem The Road Not Taken was written by option A, Robert Frost, option B, Langston Hughes, option C, Emily Dickinson, option D, William Wordsworth. And the correct answer is Robert Frost. Robert Frost is an American poet. It was The Road is Not Taken. This poem was written in 1915 in England. Next question is, which novel features the character of Hester Prynne? Option A, The Scarlet Letter. Option B, Lords of the Flies. Option C, Great Expectation. Option D, Frankenstein. And the correct option is The Scarlet Letter. This novel was written in 1850. It is considered as a masterpiece of American literature and classical moral study. Question number 24. Who is the author of the play Waiting for the Godot? Option A, Samuel Beckett. Option B, Tennessee Williams. Option C, Arthur Miller. Option D, Eugene O'Neill. And the correct answer is Samuel Beckett. Waiting for Godot is most well-known play from the Theatre of Absurd Movement. It was written by Samuel Beckett and performed for the first time in Paris on 5th January 1953. Then it was translated from French to English. Question number 25. The poem I Wander Lonely as a Cloud was written by, options are option A, William Wordsworth, option B, John Keats, option C, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, option D, P.B. Shelley. And the correct answer is William Wordsworth. Our next question is, which novel features the character of Pip? Options are option A, Jane Eyre, option B, Pride and Prejudice, option C, Moby Dick, option D, Great Expectation. And the correct answer is Great Expectation. Pip, full name Philip Pirrip, and he is the protagonist and the narrator of the Charles Dickens novel Great Expectation. He is amongst the most popular character in English literature. Pip narrates his story many years after the event of the novel takes place. The novel follows Pip's process from childhood innocence to adulthood, and the financial and the social rise of the protagonist is accompanied by an emotional and a moral deterioration which forces Pip to recognize his negative expectations in a new self awareness. Question number 27. Who is the author of the play The Glass Menagerie? And options are option A, Tennessee Williams, option B, Arthur Miller, option C, Samuel Beckett, option D, Eugene O'Neill. And the correct answer is Tennessee Williams. The Glass Menagerie, it is an one-act drama by Tennessee Williams, produced in 1944 and published in 1945. Moving to the next question, the novel Frankenstein was written by option A, Mary Shelley, option B, Bram Stoker, option C, Oscar Wilde, option D, Emily Bronte. And the correct option is Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley, she was an English novelist whose work has reached all corner of the globe. Our next question is question number 29. Ernest Hemingway Men at War is a option A collection of stories, a novel, an essay, an autobiography. And the correct option is a collection of short stories. Men at War, it is a large collection of 82 of the best war stories of all time selected by Hemingway to show that the consequences of war and how the innocent people suffer in the war. Our last question is question number 30. Which novel features the character Avenger Scrooge? Option A, Oliver Twist, option B, A Tale of Two Cities, option C, Great Expectation, option D, A Christmas Carol. And the correct answer is A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol, it is a prose being a ghost story of Christmas, commonly known as A Christmas Carol, is a novella by Charles Dickens, first published in London by Chapman and Hall in 1843 and illustrated by John Leech. A Christmas Carol recounts the story of Avenger Scrooge, an elderly miser who is visited by the ghost of his former business partner Jacob Marley and the spirit of Christmas past, present, and yet to come. After their visit, Scrooge is transformed into a kinder gentleman. Here we end the session. If you like my videos, do like, share and subscribe for more updates. Thank you.